Alright, you guys, what we're going to do today is writing a function rule. And the first thing that we're going to do is focus on writing function rules from a table. So when you are doing this, let me see if I can get my... Oops. What did I just do? Let me hide this real quick. Alright, hold on a second. We have some technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, so we're going to look at the function rules and the tables that we have here. And when we have a table, what we want to do is write a function rule for each table. So we want to ask ourselves, what can I do to x? Oh my goodness. What can I do to x to get to f of x? So what can I do to 1 to get to negative 1? So there's a couple things you could do. You could multiply by negative 1. You could subtract 2. So then go to your next one. We have 2. What do we do to 2 to get to 0? Well, again, we can just subtract 2, but we can't multiply by negative 1. What can we do to 3 to get to 1? What can we do to 4 to get to 2? And so, as you can see there, your f of x is equal to your x minus 2. And so that would be our function rule for that particular table. If you notice this one right here, instead of f of x, it's y. And so when we write this one, it's going to be y equals. And again, we want to ask ourselves, what are we doing to x to get to y? What are we doing to 1 to get to 3? So you could think you're adding 2, you're multiplying by 3. And so look at this one. 2 to 4. Well, we're adding 2. We're adding 2. We're adding 2. So y is equal to x plus 2. Again, you can have different tables as well. If I had x and y and I had 3, 6, 0, 0, negative 3, negative 6. What are we doing here? And in this case, it would be y equals 2x. I'm taking 2 and multiplying it times x every time. So it's not always add or subtract. It can be multiply, it can be squaring, it can be anything. So the next piece is some problem solving. And it says a carpenter buys finishing nails by the pound. Each pound of nails cost $1.19. Write a function rule to describe this relationship. And then how much do 12 pounds of finishing nails cost? So there's two things it wants us to do. It wants us to write a function rule, and then it wants to know how much does 12 pounds of finishing nails cost. So we need to write a function rule. It doesn't say we need to use function notation, but I'm going to. I'm going to let C of n, this is going to represent the cost of any number of nails, and it's $1.19 per pound. And so what n is representing is the number of pounds. Okay, and so now it wants us to know, this right here is my function rule, and it wants to know how much does 12 pounds of finishing nails cost. So it would be C of 12, the cost of 12 pounds is equal to 119 times 12, and then to solve this, it's just C of 12, the cost of 12 pounds, and this would equal $14.28. We look at this one. It says, suppose you buy a word processing software package for $199. You charge $15 per hour for word processing. Write a rule to describe your profit as a function of the number of hours you work. So I'm going to do profit right here. Here's my, this is the profit depending on the number of hours that I work. And the one thing that I have to take into consideration here is I've already spent $199 and I'm making $15 per hour. So it would be 15N, so 15 times the number of hours I work, but then my profit, I have to take away my expenses, and I had paid $199 for the software package. So, this is a couple ways to look at this. Sometimes the tables can be kind of tricky, but you're writing a function rule based on a table and based on some word problems.